Okay, hello everyone. Today I am going to do a quick page here in my journal, and because I am at my partner's house, I am going to sacrifice this bag so that we can cover up the table. Very quickly, I'm just going to cut this baby open. Exactly. And these are some supplies I brought from what my partner likes to call my play area downstairs. So I've got some inks here that we'll be using, maybe a couple different inks, some distress inks, some memento inks, my little stamping, a little washi tape. I've got some more washi tapes because I don't know exactly what we're going to go. I grabbed some rub-ons, and I actually have a receipt from someplace that I had been. Got my cutting board. And lately I have been, there's some pens in here. I have been having a lot of fun writing in my journal. So when I write in my journal, I've been doing a pretty cool thing. Oh, I like to decorate the pages, which I've probably already shown you before. So in this journal with me, what we're going to do is I'm going to create a tip-in because I've been having fun. I like to decorate the pages. And I did this morning where I just took, I have to get a picture of my cello to put in here. And no mistakes. I like that rub-on, and that made me think I should create a tip-in. I want to use this that was on the cover of something I picked up at Woodstock on my birthday trip. And I saw the ice cream and I was like, I gotta have this ice cream. So what I'm gonna do though is I like to write over other things. These are physics pages from a physics workbook. These are some rub-on napkins from Jane Davenport. This is a rub-on from Tim Holts. This is a piece of music from Game of Thrones. This is actually the music score for And So She Wrote, and so she wrote, a lion still has claws, but who are you? Anyway, I'm gonna digress. There's this song, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, that's actually the score from Game of Thrones. It's played on a cello, much of it. And so I threw that on there, and that's how I decorated. And I'm like, I need to tip this in somehow. And I'm showing you this stuff because what happens is I'm gonna write directly over this, much the way that I decorated this page and I wrote right over it, and just like I decorated this page and I wrote right over what that's not a good example here, how I wrote over whatever I glued in. So I'm like, I want to tip this in, but the problem is this is a kind of glossy type of paper and is no bueno for necessarily writing on. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I may just take this out. Usually when I work on this, I take it out. I've been using that as the center for a bit. And I may actually want to use that washi tape in there. Then, so what I thought to do was that I should cover this side, and then I will cut it down to fit better into my page. So I brought some papers up here, and what I will do is I will lay them out. This is a receipt from when I went shopping at this Timbuktu shop up there in Woodstock. We don't need the staple in there. The staple has to go. So we'll take that out. Take that out. We'll put this here. I like this. It says lessons. We'll put this here. We'll put some of this here. Let me get these rub-ons out of the way. We may use those later. I'm sure we will use something from there later. And yeah, I can go like this. No, I want this to show. Put this to show. Put this here. Put that under. Okay, I've got an idea how I'm going to lay this out. Now this is the thing, is all this type of paper, all this paper is something that when I write, it will hold the ink well. So this is good layout. We'll start with this piece, and I get right in there. I mean, I get right up in there. I'm like, yes. There's no need to be neat about this. And this is like, I swear, it is like being in kindergarten. No wonder my partner always says, are you gonna go play? Isn't this what you did when you were a little kid? Is that you finger painted and just got right up in there? Okay, no shame in that. This one will go down first. So we're gonna throw a little bit extra around there. I think this one can go next. And we will put this over here. And you'd like to go a little bit around the edges there. And let's see, should we do this next or this next? I think it's gonna have to be, yeah, we'll put this one. Don't want to cover up too much, so maybe, I don't want to cover up that thing there. So we'll put some more. I didn't want to cover that up, it's a graph. Don't want to cover up the graph. Oh, the nerd in me. I don't like math, but I like the idea of it. I like the idea of it. I just don't want to have to be actually asked to do any of it. I did so much counting in my life. I'm like, how do I end up in these jobs where I have to do accounting? Luckily, what I do now, I don't have to do too much. This needs a little more. So I'm probably not going to be able to tip this in right away for the obvious reason is because it's going to be wet and has glue all over it. I'll have to let it dry, but I like that. And I even like that. I just feel like sticking this in here. Just stick it in there. We'll finish up the edges later. Maybe I won't use all of this, but this, I know this won't get used again, and this is the type of stuff that's gonna, no, I don't feel like I'm not really feeling it. Okay, I'll make it smaller. Yeah. There. Make it even smaller. Yeah. How it sticks to me. How dare you stick to me? There it goes. This is good. Now we got something. All right. Let me. Okay, so with modern technology, we're back, and the paper has magically become dry. So what I'm actually going to do is, let's see here. Let's give this a little quick look. I should have said this from the beginning, but the reason that I'm making this little journal with me today is one of the things I hear most common from people that are beginners in journaling, which I still consider myself a beginner. I'm just journaling, you know, I'm just new with this type of thing. So, one of the things I hear most common is, where do I start, or what do I do if I get stuck and I can't think of what to do? You know, what do you do when you get stuck? And it's not really an accident that I'm doing this, because I had this, I rubbed on this morning, and it says no mistakes. And you see, it has that big black ink spot there. So sometimes we're so busy trying to be perfectionists. I think a lot of people have that type of perfectionist quality in us, and it's hard to know where to start because, oh, you're waiting to get good at something before you start doing it. And you just really just have to start doing it and just realize there's no mistakes. It's like, I could look at this and I'm like, oh, well, this is not a really great layout, or maybe I cut it too small to fit into my page in here. Or look, this has got air bubbles. I mean, there's a million flaws you could find with something, but it's like, just do something, do the thing, and don't overthink it, just do it. I like this. See, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm going to, I didn't bring what I actually usually bring for these rub-ons. I have these color pencils. I like to use the flat end of a color pencil, and I don't have it, so sometimes you gotta improvise. I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember this show MacGyver, but MacGyver always was doing stuff with like nothing. It's like he had a bubble gum and a roll of duct tape, and you know, somehow he managed to deactivate a bomb with a pair of tweezers, some bubble gum, and duct tape. You know, something ridiculous like that. That's kind of how you could look at this stuff. But I guess everybody has their own way, their own style, and you just do you. So I'm trying to show you as a beginner that there's really no mistakes. I'm not a great artist. I'm not probably even a good artist, but I don't let that stop me from using some of the accessories that other people provide, like Jane Davenport with her napkins, or Tim Holtz with his rub-ons. But I also don't let that stop me from also doing my own doodling here and there. I guess I didn't doodle a whole lot this month, but I doodled on top of somebody's doodle, and I took photos and I put in things together that made me feel happy and joy. And that's, see, it's got paper and washi tape and rub-ons and a photo I took, and you just, you know, these are actually petals from a sunflower up in Woodstock. You know, I do some hand lettering here and there. I'll just, you know, you can't just stop life waiting until you're an expert at something. Don't let that stop you from enjoying the moments, okay? So you grab what you have. I found this card. I ripped it off. I want to make a tip in. This was from my birthday, and it's gonna fit great in here. It totally doesn't belong. Maybe I'll make it a tip in for here. I'm not sure where. I think I'll tip it in here. Yeah, that seems like a good place. Or do you think I should put it over here? Yeah, that actually seems kind of cool. Those two pages go really good together though. I feel like this would be a good, or should I just glue it right on? No, that's a nice thick page. Maybe what I'll do is I'll end up painting on here, and this can be an extension of that. That's what I'll do. I'll use that. I'll go with that. See, sometimes the hardest thing is just to figure out where you want to even put a thing. Isn't that silly? Okay. Let me see, where's that? Some of these pages go so well together that I almost hate to disrupt it. I'm going to put it right in here. Okay, so what happened is my partner called. It's like my partner always calls when I'm in the middle of trying to make a video, and it disrupts I actually use my cell phone. So what I did is I went ahead and I got I had this washi tape, and I used it to tape in to make this little tip in, and I didn't put it all the way up to the edges because what I will do is I will get clear Scotch tape and I will reinforce this from here to here with the clear Scotch tape. But I actually like the way this tape, this is from that atelier.com website that I did a video on. I'll link down below. It was a little haul that I got the day before I went on my birthday trip. So anyway, maybe I'll cover that up, but no, I can stay, it doesn't matter. What I will do is I just like this ice cream because this was my birthday, and this really literally was my birthday. This was a good place that I picked to put it in. So I think the last thing what I'll do is I'm going to just show you example of, I have these pens that I recently got, these three, and did I bring my white one? Yes, I did. I got this, but like this, I should show it to you. What I have been doing is I had this Jelly Roll number 10, and I may have shown this already in a previous video, but I have fallen in love with when I put down something that has a dark background, when I use some paper and then I am writing over it. Here we go. I put down this cherry blossom type of trees here, and I was like, well, how am I going to write over that? Because I was like, I had my purple, my Le Pens, and they were in like this. I had it, and I was like, none of these colors. I'm like, I had the gray with me, and I had this lavender with me, and I was like, none of this stuff is gonna be able to pop out. And I just thought I'd try it with the white, and I really love the way this looked writing over that dark. So then what happened here? Oh, so then I did this down here. I put this down here because I knew where I was going to stay at in Woodstock was going to have a jacuzzi, like, and it's a lot of green lush areas back there in the wood, like, and again with the white, and I was like, okay, I like this aesthetic. This works for me for journaling. So I have been wanting to do that. Oh, I did it. So I did it here with these pens I bought on my trip, and then I put this down and I used my green. These are opaques. These are ones that you could use if you've ever seen a blackout journal. This is the purple here, and actually it's a little bit of the pink up there. That was testing it to see how that would work, if that one worked as well. I believe it's this one. No, this one says Moonlight. It's a Jelly Roll 10. This one says, this one is the green one, that it didn't say Moonlight on it. So I wasn't sure how this one was gonna be, but it did work out well. And so the last thing I'm going to do is I will be writing over this, but I'll write thank you. That's for you for joining me. Sorry about all the interruptions and the craziness, but such is life. So if you're a beginner and you don't know where to start, just trust the mess, as Jane Davenport says, and start the art. And don't worry about becoming great at something, just start. And that sounds like such simple advice, but it really truly works. Like there's a page in here where I showed you that it had a big splotch. What I did is, you can't see the fine detail outlines of the flowers and the leaves probably, but I threw down some yellow and some red, and then I just went ahead and went with it. And it's just like this. I grabbed this piece of paper and I just grabbed some receipts. I came up here with some ink pads, some little rub-ons and some pens, and This was my very loose plan, and this is my tip-in that now I've created where I can write on and over and add to memories from my birthday. So there's no mistakes, there's no wrong way, and don't wait till you become an expert at something. Just go ahead and start. Have a wonderful day, night, weekday, weekend, wherever this meets you at.